Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. We do finally have an update on the Wisconsin UTV window tint laws. The pamphlet just came out yesterday. It's kind of what I figured, so I do have the notes here. So for you guys that are riding the Polarises, the Can-Ams, the CFMoto, the Kawasaki in Wisconsin kind of came out the other day and did a soft little, hey, these are the new laws, this is what's going to change. And 5 new laws were implemented. Some of them made sense, like you can't tow an object with a person on it behind you on the trail. If you damage property, it's 3 times the value of the damage is what you can pay up to. All that stuff makes relative sense. What was very unclear was the fact that they said there's going to be UTV window tint restriction, and that was it. No percentages, no what it looked like. So now those numbers have finally came out. I made a video prior that kind of talked about what those might look like. I come from the automotive tint world. So in the automotive tint world here in Wisconsin, we're allowed 50% on the windshield and 35% on the rear. And that's what the Wisconsin DNR ended up saying. So for the windshield tinting can only be at the top 5 inches. So draw a parallel line across your windshield. It can only come down 5 inches, and it can only be to a darkness of 50%. So now for the front door windows, the 2 windows, front driver, front passenger, those can only now be tinted to 50%. Now, if you have a crew cab machine, the rear windows of the crew cab machine can be tinted at 35, including the rear glass. Now, that also applies for a 2-door machine. It just applies for the rear window. So these are now the laws. I don't know how they'll be ticketing it. I don't know how they'll be implementing that. There's a lot of machines on the road of state of Wisconsin that are tinted way darker than this. I don't know if they'll be issuing warnings when this comes out. Truthfully, it is quite impactful for the state of Wisconsin riders. There's a lot of machines with a lot of window tint on it. One thing that they did mention on here is that you cannot do the mirrored film, which is not something that we see tremendously a lot of requests for. So I've been getting a ton of questions about this. I'm getting customers that have bought tint kits from me, customers that I've tinted their machines, customers all over that have the question of, is my machine legal? What's going to be the punishment? Do I need to remove it? Truthfully, if you guys do have window tint on your machines now and you need to remove it, the good news is it removes relatively easy. Simply take a heat gun, heat up the film, take a razor blade, and then slowly start to lift the film off the glass as you heat it, and then it may leave adhesive behind. You'll just have to take a razor blade and some glass cleaner, whether that be aerosol or liquid, and just remove the glue off. It doesn't remove too terribly. We'll see what the state of Wisconsin DNR does with this in the future. The law does start from 3 days from now from me filming this video. So be curious to see what happens if a lot of guys are getting stopped. I'm curious to see if the DNR is going to be carrying window tint meters, the meter that slides over the glass to measure the film darkness. They would also have to carry the corded one where you can measure, not only the inside of the windshield, but through the windshield, and it has a cord around to measure that meter. So I'm curious to see what all happens with that. I'm curious to see if guys get strictly picked on for window tint. If you're riding down the trail, are you going to get stopped by a DNR officer and say, hey, your window tint's too dark? Does this apply? If you're riding in the county, will county officers approach you about window tint now? I'm curious. If you guys get stopped and you see this video, or you're seeing this video after you get stopped, comment below what your experience is. Be curious to see and share with the community what we're finding with this. So that's a quick rundown of the new law that passed. I hope this video makes sense to you. If you guys have any questions, my contact information is on my website, UtvWindowTint.com. My name's Travis. Feel free to reach out, and we'll see you on the next video.